Why do I hide behind excuses, pretending everything is fine when deep down I know something is fundamentally wrong? This question strikes at the core of an experience we all encounter at some point. The internal conflict between what we consciously believe and what we subconsciously feel or fear. This tension is known as cognitive dissonance, a psychological phenomenon whereby conflicting thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes create discomfort. To resolve this discomfort, our minds often unconsciously deploy defense mechanisms like denial or rationalization to avoid our own shadow, to avoid the truth that sits deep within us, in which we are trying to escape from. Cognitive dissonance arises when we hold two contradictory beliefs or when our actions conflict with our values. This discomfort it generates is so intense that we instinctively seek ways to reduce or eliminate it. This is where defense mechanisms, as described by Freudian theory, come into play. Denial is a defense mechanism where we refuse to accept reality or facts themselves, blocking external events from awareness to avoid dealing with their consequences. For instance, consider someone who has received negative feedback at work but denies the criticism, convincing themselves it was biased or irrelevant. By denying the validity of the feedback, they protect their self-image from the discomfort of true self-reflection. Rationalization, on the other hand, involves concocting a seemingly logical reason or excuse for behavior that actually stems from an uncomfortable truth. For example, imagine a student who fails at an exam, but rationalizes it by blaming the unfairness of the questions rather than admitting to a lack of preparation. This mechanism allows them, or the individual, to maintain their self-image again as the other form of defense mechanism, denial, but as a capable student without confronting the truth of their own shortcomings, again escaping from what is actually true within the situation and context. We see here that our own defense mechanisms keep us away from confronting the truth of ourselves and particular situations, of the shadow itself. These defense mechanisms bear a striking resemblance to Jean-Paul Sartre's philosophical concept of bad faith. Sartre argued that individuals often deceive themselves to avoid confronting uncomfortable truths about their existence and responsibilities. In bad faith, people deny their freedom and responsibility by convincing themselves that they are bound by circumstances, thereby avoiding the anxiety of making authentic choices. For example, an employee who remains in a job they dislike might tell themselves they have no other options, even when they do, thus avoiding the discomfort of confronting their fear of change or of failure. This self-deception keeps them inauthentic, living in a way that is not true to their deeper desires and potential. Therefore, we can see how both cognitive dissonance and Sartre's bad faith idea highlights a struggle between living authentically and maintaining a consistent self-image. In both cases, we grapple with the gap between our conscious beliefs and our subconscious fears or desires. When cognitive dissonance triggers denial or rationalization, it's a sign that the shadow, what Carl Jung referred to as the unconscious parts of ourselves, has surfaced. And this is what we should be aware of so that we can do our very best to integrate these parts of ourselves with honesty and humility, rather than as an excuse for defense. To live more authentically and reduce cognitive dissonance, we turn to shadow work, practices that help us uncover and integrate these repressed parts of ourselves. Journaling, for example, allows us to explore our thoughts and feelings in a non-judgmental way through something similar to free association, helping to bring the shadow into the light by asking ourselves probing questions like, why do I hide behind excuses, pretending everything is fine when deep down I know something is wrong? we begin to uncover the roots of our own dissonance. Dream analysis is another powerful tool within shadow work. Dreams often reveal hidden desires and fears that our conscious mind might deny or rationalize away. By analyzing recurring themes or symbols in our dreams, we can gain insight into the unresolved conflicts that fuel our cognitive dissonance. In addition to shadow work, psychoanalytic techniques such as free association and transference can help uncover repressed desires and conflicts. Free association encourages us to speak freely without censoring our thoughts, often revealing unconscious material that contributes to cognitive dissonance. Transference, where feelings towards one person are redirected to another, can also expose hidden conflicts, especially in therapeutic settings. But of course, philosophical discussions on authenticity can further illuminate the struggle with cognitive dissonance that we have so often. Sartre's notion of bad faith challenges us to confront our own self-deceptions and embrace the freedom to choose our own path, even when it's uncomfortable. By striving for authenticity, we can reduce the need for defense mechanisms and live in a way that aligns more closely with our true selves. And of course, by engaging in shadow work, exploring psychoanalytic techniques, and reflecting on philosophical concepts like Sartre's bad faith, we can begin to recognize and resolve the internal conflicts that drive our own cognitive dissonance. And this is why I have made the shadow work course. The shadow work course is basically a way for you to learn and understand how to practically do shadow work. When Carl Jung developed the concept of the shadow within his psychological model, he didn't give any methods on how to actually integrate the shadow. But with the course I have released, I aim to show you ways to do that practically and pragmatically that are in alignment to the psychological concepts that are explained within his work and within psychoanalytic theory. So if you are someone who struggles with repeating patterns in your own life, whether with your relationships, your personal relationships, or within your career, or you want to heal old wounds that are also from the same places within personal relationships, and you seek a transformative approach to healing that is not offered in other places that you have been looking for, or you experience unexplained emotional reactions that you want to understand and uncover their root causes to why you experience these strong emotional reactions that very much remain unconscious to you, then this course is fundamentally made for you. Let's say you want to seek deeper relationships with people, and the only way you can do that is by understanding and healing the subconscious forces that affect how you connect with others. Then again, this shadow work course is made for you. You feel stuck or blocked in life and are ready for a powerful shift. You feel like you're stagnating, that you're stuck in the same place and you have been for a while. Or you want to confront your inner fears of things that you have been avoiding, suppressing, or denying. Then this course was made specifically for you, the shadow work course. So if you're interested in that and you want to understand that or read a full description of what's involved in this and what you will be receiving, which is a library of videos. You'll be receiving many worksheets, you'll be receiving exercises, you would be receiving mind maps that are going to help you track and trace where these shadow behaviors come from in relation to defense mechanisms and understanding these things. Then check out the link in my description and in the pinned comment sections down below where you can read a full description of the course and of course buy it there as well. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching and I will speak to you in the next video.